winning divisions. I'm going to tell you how it's going to come down.
All right.
So you can do the home field advantage in your head. And this might also lead into who I have as MVP, who I have as my Super Bowl picks. Just take it all in.
This is evolving.
This is very, very,
He's never done this
very
before.
evolved. Never done this.
Okay.
The number 1 seed in the AFC. And I see my boy Danny, who lives in Tribeca. And I see my boy David, who lives in the Upper East Side. Yeah. And I see all my boys from Freehold, New Jersey, and all the Long Island guys I see. I want you guys to take a deep, deep breath and a giant exhale. It has already been written. The number 1 seed in the AFC.
Awesome. Come on now. Let's go. Wow. Let's go.
It's going to be the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers will stay healthy. The offensive line will protect him. Brees is going to be everything you hoped he was. Garrett's going to be even better. And that defense, Hassan Reddick or not, is going to be one of the tops in the league. The New York Jets are your number 1 seed in the AFC.
Incredible. Incredible. It's a great pick.
We're already out of the game.
Oh, Peter.
Okay.
It's so much bigger. Oh, my gosh. Here we go.
My other darlings are the number 2 seed.
Yeah.
Okay. Kansas City Chiefs. You ain't going anywhere. All right. You're fine. You're not going to be just falling off in this thing. I don't know if it finishes this year the way you want it to, but I will say you will win that AFC West despite the mighty Chargers and the mighty Broncos. Yeah. And look what the Raiders are doing with Antonio Pierce. Be quiet. Chiefs are the number 2 team. All right. Number 3. Come on, what are we talking about here? Number 3. Like my 2 colleagues before me, I am going with the defending division champions in the AFC North. I believe the Baltimore Ravens will take care of business. They will get there. I foolishly left Baltimore out of my playoff picture last year. They proved me wrong. And I had the Bengals and the Browns going out of the AFC, and I thought the Bengals with Joe Burrow got hurt. Yeah. That seems to happen. Keep that in mind as I say the Ravens find a way to be the division champions at the end.
Okay. 4 seed?
4 seed is an interesting division. Everyone's in on the Texans, and I respect it. I like it. Do you know the Texans did not play a single game in the regular season that wasn't at noon? They didn't have a single late window primetime game. They had the worst record the year before, so they had the easiest schedule. I think there's going to be some bumps in the road for the division champions. I've got the Jacksonville Jaguars in Trevor Lawrence winning the division in the AFC South. I like what the Jaguars did this offseason. They lost Calvin Ridley, but I like Brian Thomas, and I like Gabe Davis. I think Trevor Lawrence got paid, and I think the Jaguars win the division. If you think I'm pandering to fan bases, I just took the Jaguars to win the division.
But I don't know what that means.
It just means it's not as big. It's not, hey, I'm not just picking the big market teams.
The Jets are your 1 seed, though.
Yeah. I have to protect it. Say, do you think I'm doing that? First wild card, meaning they're right there, but they didn't win the division. Okay. It's because they got swept by the Jets. I've got the Buffalo Bills.
All right. Also with a swept by the Jets prediction.
Swept.
Great.
Swept. Jets are going to be awesome.
Great.
Jets are like, great, very good.
Great.
Bills are still very good. Don't write off the Bills. I know Diggs is gone. I know Davis is gone. I know we loved our safeties. They're gone. I still think Buffalo's got one of the best quarterbacks in the league and a very solid young team. Buffalo Bills.
Okay. 2 left, Peter. 2 left.
Kyle, in the commercial break, we talked about going out on a limb. Do you have any picks that are going to blow people?
You have to.
The number 5 seed in the AFC are the Denver Broncos.
Yeah! Let's go!
Rookie Bo Nix, the 6th quarterback. No Justin Simmons. No Tim Patrick. No, all these guys that you've known on this team. In Sean Payton, I trust. He's had a full year to get his cards in order and put his guys in places that he wants to succeed. I have seen this guy do it with a lot less in New Orleans. I've got the Denver Broncos making the playoffs.
It's been a minute, Peter. It's been a minute for the Broncos. That is an awesome pick.
Since Peyton Manning was the quarterback, they have not been back to January football, which leads to one more team in the AFC.
Last one.
The Bengals haven't been picked. The Browns haven't been picked. The Dolphins haven't been picked. The Texans haven't been picked.
Chargers haven't been picked.
The Chargers haven't been picked. The Raiders haven't been picked. And your Steelers haven't been picked.
Yeah, where do you go?
The first time I've ever put this team in the playoffs. I've been doing this for 8 years.
Interesting.
I'm always the one that rolls my eyes and says, yeah, right, that team. Okay. Yeah, well, the NFL Network's based in L.A. That's why everyone else talks about them. They're not really a playoff team. And I'm usually right. This year's going to be different. I've got the
Bolts
LA
up.
Chargers
Bolts up.
making the playoffs. No Dolphins, no Texans, no Bengals, no Browns. The Jets are your 1 seed. Have at it.
Can you the headline here? Can you just speak to no Dolphins? That's the headline for me.
The Dolphins.
You love the Dolphins. You've been very excited about them, and you know that they're loaded. Talk about
They're loaded to the gills. They found a way to go all the way to the playoffs. And then at the end of the season, a few injuries to their defensive stars. Phillips and Chubb really were their inning. They lose Christian Wilkins.
Yep.
They lose Van Ginkel. Vic Fangio's not there. There's a lot of things people don't talk about with the Dolphins. I love Javon Holland. I love Jalen Ramsey. I love a lot of those guys. I can't take every team. So if Dolphins fans, I'll wear it.
No other team out of the UFC North, huh?
No.
Yes.
They're all going to cannibalize each other. That's how I look at that. Sorry, I love Joe Burrow too, but what are you going to do?
It's hard. There's not a spot for
Not everyone can make
What
it.
about the National Football Conference?
We're going to go seeds again.
Okay, great. I like this.
Jeez, Peter.
This is fun.
Your number one seed in the NFC, with a lot of hype going into this season. They take that hype, they take it on the chin, and they bite your ankle on the way out.
Yeah.
I'm going with Detroit Lions. I believe they are that good.
Okay.
They're young, they're loaded. They are special. The Lions are your one seed and your division winners in the NFC North. Your number 2 seed. Again, I thought this was going to blow people away, but both of you guys had this too. I got the Rams as
Let's
the
go.
2
Rams.
seed.
Rams for
winning
2.
the NFC West.
Okay.
They're under the radar right now. Everyone's talking Niners. Can they get back? Can they do it? I've got the Rams as the 2 seed.
Okay.
I saw them in person. Maybe it's just biased because I was there at practice a few times, but I really think the Rams are dialed in. Cup's healthy. Puka's healthy. The defense is going to find a way without Aaron Donald.
Yeah, trust
2
your
seed,
eyes. Yeah.
You know?
Who's the 3?
3 seed. 3 seed. I love this team. I'm thinking about them for Super Bowl.
Okay.
I still might put them in the Super Bowl. This might be one of those teams that comes out of the season, they're like 8-0 early, and you're like, wait, what? And then all of a sudden they're like, they're the 1 seed? Oh, and that building's rocking. And, oh, wait, their quarterback is actually one of the best in the NFL. The Atlanta Falcons
All right.
are my 3 seed.
Yeah.
Come on.
I love the Bucks. I do. And I love what they've done to keep that thing going.
Not as much as these guys.
But they just brought in Kirk Cousins, and they also brought in a new coach that's going to bring a different vibe. I got Atlanta as 3, and the winners of the NFC South, which
Awesome.
goes to the money division, the NFC East, the one that everyone talks about, the national games. Where's Tirico and Collinsworth this week? They're probably at one of these ones. They're probably in the NFC East. Those are the money games. Those are the ones the networks all vie for. And although there is so much smoke about issues with quarterback and head coach, there's too much talent. I've got the Philadelphia
Birds.
winning
Birds.
the NFC East. It's a 4 seed, meaning they'll probably have to go on the road if they're going to win one playoff game. So I'm going to say the Philadelphia Eagles are my 4 seed. Now our wild cards. Let's not be kidding ourselves. They're making the playoffs.
Okay, they're
They're in.
Okay.
Niners are in.
Okay.
Loaded team. I saw Trent Williams is back. He's extended. Like, it'll all be buttoned up by the time the season starts. I just don't know how it goes so smoothly as it did last year. I'm saying 49ers as the 5. Number 6 seed. Here's where we're getting a little bit wild because there's only so many teams left. As your 6th seed in the NFC,
Seattle.
Okay.
putting Seattle
Okay.
Seahawks in there.
Why?
New, fresh blood. Love and respect Pete Carroll. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Mike McDonald, 37 years old, defensive mind, comes in here, brings in Grubbs, who's an offensive coordinator from the college game. I think we get a huge year out of Kenneth Walker. I also think we get a huge year out of Geno Smith and those 3 receivers, Jackson, Smith, Jigba. Watch out for him as he joins Lockett and Metcalf. I think this offense is going to be really fun. I'm going Seahawks as a wild card. We got 1 team left.
No Packers. No Cowboys. No Buccaneers. No Bears. No Giants. No Commanders.
Dun, dun, dun.
The Pack. Talk about it.
Going with Green Bay. So good, so young. They only scratched the surface last year. If it wasn't for the Lions, I might have them as my number 1 seed. I just think the Lions are going to win the division this year. The Packers are. But you said no. Let's see my playoff teams.
Bring them up.
We get paid by our ratings. We get paid by the popularity of our show. We get paid by a lot. To not have that Dallas Cowboys star means I'm going out on a limb. And folks, it feels weird out of Dallas this summer.
It does.
Whether it was CD's situation, and it isn't all just rosy. It took a long time. Dak, I don't know what his contract situation is going to be. Micah, and then a coach that everyone's saying is in the final year of a contract. And lastly, I think Dan Quinn is really good. Mike Zimmer was a great NFL coach and has done a lot. I thought Dan Quinn was a big piece of what they did. These are my playoff teams.
It's great.
Wow.
In the NFC, have at it, folks.